rounds. 5 minutes each round. 1 fall, 1 submission, or 1 KO to decide the winner. In the red corner from Bronson, Lee Bronson. And the blue corner, ladies and gentlemen, my pleasure, the British heavyweight champion, MARINO. And the referee for all occasions, England's premier wrestling referee, Joe D'Alessio.
Right, you mean they know all shake hands, wrestling.
First round.
Hello again, Grapple fans. Good afternoon to you. And here at the Centre Halls Woking, we welcome you to another freestyle wrestling session. And we start this afternoon's program with a heavyweight bout between Lee Bronson of Balham at 15 stone 4. And you can't see him very well at the moment. That's Mike Marino, his opponent. Mike Marino, formerly of Milan, of course, Italy's golden boy, at 14-13, the mid-heavyweight champion of Great Britain. Joe D'Alessio, the referee, and that's Bronson again attacking Mike Marino back to canvas. The first time I've ever seen Marino in the first round of any contest back to canvas twice in the first 30 seconds. Here he is, Joe D'Alessio, the famous London referee. Easily identifiable if you don't know Mike Marino by sight. The dark hair, the black trunks worn by Marino, and of course pitch black hair.
1, 2.
Marino, the experience, of course, behind him with this comparative newcomer, Lee Bronson, who's only been a pro since November of last year. And the master, in the shape of Mike Marino, they're grapevining his man twice. Further leg and side headlocking him now. But already in trouble in the first minute or two of this first round of 6. And remembering there's only 1 fall to decide this contest, he took a few risks at the beginning there. Marino often holding his balance with that right leg grapevine around the Bronson left. Leave his arms operating on the head. But it's still Bronson who comes out with a lever of a sort, but not very firm, and countered quite easily by Marino. And the crowd here at the Centre Hall Woking, very quiet at the moment at the start of this heavyweight contest. But the hall, I think, almost, well, completely full. Not a sign of a vacant chair. They start to see some of the Marino matches actually start applauding like that. And again, a quick escape by Marino. Lee Bronson, we've only seen 3 or 4 times on television, but I think we're going to see a lot of this boy. He's a great potential, this heavyweight. Just a minute to go in this first round of 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Double interlock. Bronson the height advantage and of course weight advantage. 30 seconds to go. Quickly turns it into a jab stranglehold, but Bronson sees it coming and throws him nicely. Just about 7 seconds to go.
Stuck.
There he is, Mike Marino, still one of the most popular men in the heavy class. And I don't mean the heavyweight bracket, because he never has been. He's always been under the 14-13. He keeps himself right down to that mid-heavyweight upper bracket, just in case he has to defend his title, which he has, of course, many times, on many occasions, in many countries. Mike Marino, one of the cauliflower year there on both sides. There's a close-up of his left one.
Seconds out, round 2.
Round 2, 5 rounds to go. One fall decides this preliminary bout here at the Centre Halls Woking between Mike Marino on one knee there, the black trunks, versus Lee Bronson of Balham, London. 6'2" boy from Balham at 15 stone 4, and of course got tremendous height advantage over Marino as well as weight. Half a stone in weight, or nearly 5 or 6 pounds. Referee Joe Dorazio. Yes, what a counter into the arm lever against the joint. Marino didn't show too much of his skill in the first round, but he's starting now to prove to this comparative newcomer, Bronson, that he'll have to go pretty hard to beat this man. Even against that head mare attempt twice. Tries to roll against it nicely, very nicely done. Gets his man off, gets Marino off, and Marino apologizes to Dorazio, the referee. A little bit late there, Bronson. Quick cross buttock, Marino, just keeping the straight arm lever, switching it to the double wrist. Marino left foot right under the neck there. Arm lever still very definitely on. Finally, he releases the man so that he goes shoulder blades back to canvas. Now, can he hold it there? Good get out by Bronson to that head scissors. Bridge. Marino gets all the way, then Bronson could be in trouble. And he's all the way.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Again, the agreement on the double interlock, switch to the single interlock and back to the backhander. Bronson changing hands nicely, but that double-handed wrist lever is still there. Oh yes, very neat. Took the arm with him. This boy, great potential, and A smile from Marino as say this boy is really learning. But Marino can be pretty fast too. Wrestlers of this class, of course, right next to the ropes, but neither of them, even though they haven't got the advantage at the moment, wouldn't dream of grabbing for a rope as so many would. This unintentionally roll into it. 1 minute to go, round two. Again, Bronson, he doesn't hold back on the attacks. He really does attack non-stop as he can. Three-quarter Nelson to Marino right on the deck. Just above us, very near the ropes again. Half a minute. Oh, that's just typical of Marino. He saw the feet go into the ropes and broke himself without any order from the referee. Again, attack on an arm lock by Bronson with 5 seconds to go. Lee Bronson of Balham, London, 6 foot 2 inches, 15 stone 4 in weight. The very famous wrestling father, just in case you haven't heard me say this before in his 2 or 3 previous televised experience, Norman the Butcher, who finished wrestling around 1948, just after the war, was one of the biggest names in wrestling of those days. Norman the Butcher. Some of you older enthusiasts will surely remember.
Seconds out, round 3.
Round 3, 4 rounds to go, and here at the Centre Holes Woking, in case you've just joined us, the heavyweight bout between Lee Bronson of Balham and Mike Marino, also of London, now residing Streatham, but of course formerly of Milan. Marino in the black trunks there, having delivered that reverse whip so fast on Bronson. Marino in the very black trunks. Yes, still flying tackle by Bronson, but Marino waiting for him in a holding press attempt. But Marino waits till count of 2 and then throws. And the nearest Bronson has been to catching the champion. Only 1 more second he needed there, and he would have got the 1 fall required for this bout. Marino's leg caught him there on that folder. Again, Marino right near the ropes. If he's in trouble, he could easily reach for them, but he wouldn't, under any circumstances, resort to a move like that. He'd rather wrestle his way out, as he did. Side headlock Bronson. Again, the grapevine to Marino, but bringing the Bronson left leg right back this time. Trying to force him off balance while he holds his own. Eventually can't get anywhere. Both agree to separate. Full Nelson, Bronson. Interesting to see if Marino tries to break this just by strength. No. Roll off the cross buttock. Bronson thinking of bridging, I don't think he can get up there. Again, Marino can't get anywhere with that hold, so what's the point in remaining in that position? Try something else that he can score with. Double wrist lock backhammer to Bronson. Holding it from the top. Marino turning right into it, but he risked a double-handed wrist lever by doing it. But he got the leg spread escape. Never flustered, of course, Mike Marino, even when he's against an equally experienced man, which of course he isn't this afternoon. Again the backhammer to Bronson. Yes, and again Bronson trying that cross press, but the Marino left arm is underneath him, which means he'll have a certain amount of leverage to get himself up, even if Bronson hadn't let him go. Double leg grab, Marino. Trying for the Boston turn, but Bronson spins him out very nicely. A little less than a minute to go in the third. From the double interlock to the figure. Jab strangle hold there by Marino. Half a minute. Nice throw, Bronson, very nice. Marino, surprised look as he looks over at him. I never thought you'd make it, son, but you did. Good luck to you. It's the way he takes all his bouts. Just about 10 seconds to go. So the side head chancery to Bronson won't have time to operate. Before the bout this afternoon, I was having a word with Mike Marino in the dressing room, and he's had a tremendous amount of trouble with what we've often talked about on these wrestling shows on television, and that is his eyebrows. The tissue, the skin tissue of the eyebrow, especially the left eyebrow, is so paper thin now that almost a touch can break it, and it causes him all kinds of trouble with the blood coming into his eye because it means he can't see. Let's hope it doesn't happen today.
Second round, round 4.
So halfway through the bout, 3 rounds to go as we start the 4th round. One fall decides it. Marino in the black trunks on the left, black hair, black trunks, versus Lee Bronson. And Marino may start to get a little more attacking move now. He's taking a lot of attacking from Bronson, countered beautifully, escaped perfectly as always, but now it looks as though he's coming out the attacking. Just in case he came that way. Single finger interlock this time. Bronson with his right hand. I'm surprised Marino didn't get that far. Reaching for a half Nelson. Just about got it, Marino. Can't quite see what that right hand is. No, he wasn't trying to reach for the full Nelson. Marino again forcing the leg spread to get his man off balance, which he successfully does. Again, the double finger interlock, Bronson. And Mike Marino may have to bridge Yes. Still doesn't complete the bridge, though. Just managed to turn on one side. There's the bridge now. Oh, yes. So a certain amount of power from Marino there. And although I, at ringside here, expect Marino's experience to count in the long run in this bout, he certainly will know he's been in the fight against this fellow Bronson. Great future, this boy. Just to force up the toe, forcing the knees apart, and releasing his own hand. Figure four leg lock held by the toe hold with arm bar. 2 minutes left, the fourth. So that right Marino round was a bar to that figure four leg lock. Bronson turns his attention to the arm. I think he's right. To get the bar out, he might release the leg lock then a little more easily. He's done it. And he tries the cross press again. This is the third time he's tried this. Oh, yes. Oh yes, sidestep, so neat. And Bronson doesn't know where the grapevine's coming from, but it didn't finally, and Marino ran out of mat there, otherwise he might have made it on the folding press. 1 minute to go, fourth. Keeping that arm dead straight against the joint. Forcing Marino to go right over the top. But the double-handed wrist lever is still there. 30 seconds. Interesting to see whether Mike Marino can beat the clock on the get out here. He has. 15 seconds to go. I was underestimating. Too late for attack, though. Right on the bell. Let's have a close-up look now at this, as I say, comparative newcomer, Lee Bronson from Balham, London. He's only been a pro since May in last year, 1975. His first appearance on television was November of last year. 10 years amateur experience at the United Amateur Wrestling Club at Kennington, and one top year as an amateur when he won the light heavyweight London, Southern and British titles, which is not bad for one fella. Represented England 3 times, incidentally.
Seconds out, round 5.
So can Lee Bronson, with 2 rounds to go, this great amateur record, a great potential in the pro ranks, continue to worry Mike Marino, the experienced mid-heavyweight champion weightlifter, like he has been in the last 4 rounds? Certainly still on the attack. For Nelson now. Marino for Nelson, letting him go down. Oh yes, no trouble at all, no trouble. But Marino the first to clap, and he knows what a bout he has been through. It wasn't that easy for him, despite his experience.
Round 5, ladies and gentlemen, with a 1-4 required, the winner of an excellent contest, Mike Marino. Can I have a big hand for a very good loser, ladies and gentlemen, Lee Bronson. I quite agree, Mike. Mike Marino says, ladies and gentlemen, he's an up-and-coming champion. Give him a big hand, Mike. MARINO and Lee Bronson.